demand divest now. And long ago, last week,
Judaism yes, Zionism no.
And now folks are chanting Judaism yes, Zionism no.
Free, free Palestine.
Last week there was a group of 15 people who conducted a sit-in inside this community center for over...
Came out on behalf of the center and said that the banner wasn't allowed here, and that if we didn't take it down, that they were going to come and take it down for us. A person from a neighboring business just walked up expressing concern and being like, I see they called the cops on you, and we want you to know that that's because the center's agenda is not a popular one.
That's right.
And they are failing. They are losing power. Their neighbors don't like them. Their own participants don't agree with them. No one does. Because aiding and abetting in a genocide is unacceptable. I want to talk to you a little bit about the Worshippers Massacre that just happened this past weekend. One of the things that the center decides that they are going to try to remain neutral on. Hundreds of Palestinians who have been starved, who have no water, who have no power, who have no homes, who fled sometimes as many as 5 or 6 or 7 times, were seeking refuge and woke up in the morning to pray. And a U.S.-funded, likely U.S.-built, 2-ton bomb dropped upon them. Hundreds of people have died. Hundreds of people. The exact number is unknown, and there's not an entire body found intact. Instead, families are being given bags of a weight approximate to a human, and being asked to bury them and honor those human remains as if they had confidence that they were the remains of their family. There's no pride in that. There's no pride in handing someone a bag and saying, bury this and just pretend this is your child, because it's new. Rex thinks he can be neutral. No neutrality. Neutrality is acceptance. Neutrality is endorsement. And until Rex ends these partnerships, these things will continue to happen. Cannot stop, and we will keep coming back until Rex stops, because they are losing. They are losing, and they're on the wrong side of history. And these names will be remembered as the people who said it's okay to obliterate people while they pray in a refugee camp. Shame! Shame! That is not fairness. That is not what's to be done in my trans name, or in my trans identity, or for my trans community. If you gave a shit about us, we would have free HRT when we walked in that door.
That's right.
If you gave a shit about us, you would hear us when cops make us unsafe.
That's right.
That's right.
If you gave a shit about us, you would hear us say our liberation is intricately bound with the liberation of the Palestinian people. That not one of us is free.
That's right.
And that there is no pride until this genocide ends.
That's right.
From the river to the sea.
From the river to the sea.
Free.
Palestine will be free.
From the river to the sea.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine is almost free.
Palestine is almost free.
Intifada, intifada.
Intifada, intifada.
Stonewall was an intifada.
Stonewall was an intifada.
Intifada, intifada.
Intifada, intifada.
The intifada.
Long live the intifada.
Long live the intifada.
Long live the intifada.
Intifada.
Long live the intifada.
All right, next I want to invite up Asa to come and share some words with us. One of my dear comrades, often mistaken as my son.
Hi, Dad. What's up? I wanted to come up here and say, we don't have to settle for crumbs.
That's right.
We don't have to settle for institutions that abet bloodshed. We don't have to blind eye to the carnage, and we do not have to settle for the status quo. I want you all to repeat after me. It's not that complicated.
It's not that complicated.
Gaza will be liberated.
Gaza will be liberated.
It's not that complicated.
Gaza will be liberated.
Our path is clear, and our methods work. We've seen them work before. We've seen them work around the country, in the Palestinian movement, and in we know what needs to happen in order to divest. We know what needs to happen in order to impose an arms embargo on a genocidal apartheid state. And we know what we have to do. We know what the to do.
That's right.
It's not that complicated.
It's not that complicated.
Gaza will be liberated.
Gaza will be liberated.
If the center cared about, they would not be subject to year after year of arresting activists on the basis of countless issues, of taking money from companies that have been condemned by human rights groups, by the United Nations, longer than I've been alive.
Hey!
The center claims to represent us, but they don't represent us to uplift the popular will. They claim to represent us to reflect our community. They claim to represent us so they can silence and denature our community. And that is not a representation I will accept. I don't think, based upon the conversations we had in that comfortable air-conditioned boardroom, with clean water, with access to sanitation and proper facilities, I don't think those people in there in the center are avowed Zionists. Believe in the vision of dissent. That is why they represent us. That is why they want to speak. They want to take that and they want to denature it. They want to take that and they want to denature it. And we're not. It's not that complicated.
It's not that
Complicated.
Gaza will be liberated.
While we're talking, while the centers work over their food, keep the will of the other Jewish people who were living there and kill Palestinians anyway.
Hey!
Anesthesia. Shame. It's not that complicated. Gaza will be liberated, and the center, much like the Zionist entity that's desperate, that's lashing out, that's gathering its guns and rallying its support, that's spending more money on foreign elections than it ever has in order to retain its grip over our government. They're both on borrowed time.
From the sea to the river,
From the sea to the river,
Palestine forever.
Palestine will live forever.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
Within our lifetime.
Within our lifetime.
Free, free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
There's no pride in genocide.
There's no pride in genocide.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. This is Alex with Israel under the BDS movement, and they have said they remain steadfast in continuing to put pressure on the center every single week. They plan to be here once a week to try to encourage them to accept any more money from the center.
Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Palestine.
There, at the height, there were about 20 folks here protesting the center because they receive some sponsorships and funding. Companies that support Israel, such as Lockheed Martin, HP, BAE, and other companies. We learned, however, that someone who spoke today revealed that the CEO actually told them that they only receive about $30,000 combined from those organizations, yet they are apparently unwilling to cut those financial ties. So that is why organizations here have continued to put pressure on the center. Last week, 15 people conducted a sit-in inside the center for over 7 hours. The CEO called the police on them, and dozens of police showed up, including Denver SWAT. And folks ended up leaving to not risk getting arrested. And today, when the ralliers showed up at the expected rally start time at 4:30 Mountain Standard Time, excuse me, there was already a police SUV parked outside the center, and 2 police officers were inside the center's building. And the police confirmed to activists that Rex, the CEO, called them today to be here on the scene for this rally. The organizers say that they plan to come weekly here to maintain pressure. They said today that the center does not represent them as queer people. The majority of the people here at the rally are queer people, and they were saying that the center, even though it's a community center for LGBTQ plus people, it does not represent them. There's actually still a police officer inside the building. I can see them through the window. So they're still inside. One police vehicle did leave from the parking lot a few moments ago. But yes, the rally is wrapped up for today. So thank you all for tuning in to our coverage of the rally. This is Alex with Unicorn Riot. You can go to unicornriot.ninja to see our other coverage of pro-Palestine, anti-genocide protests across the United States and across the world, and you can see our contributed coverage from on the ground in Palestine on unicornriot.ninja, and you can support our work by clicking the donate tab on our website. Thank you so much.